for putting it on the strategic map of CADEM. And that's a huge learning for some of us here who belong to the corporate world. Unless it's a CEO's charter, it's not going to get done. So if you think you're going to embed it in the structure in some hierarchy, N-1, N-2, N-3, well, the results will be as suboptimal as the structure facilitates or hinders. The corporate listens to it with due respect, but however, very little is done about it. But I'm hoping Women at Work initiative, with such great partners coming on board, things will change. A little bit brief about CADEM. These are the various verticals, your focus areas they are in. In the Talent Accelerator, that is where the Women at Work is embedded an initiative, and that's something we take very seriously. And it was launched on March 8, and barely 6 months, and we have the second Women at Work conclave, and there'll be third one in Bangalore, and we have a very prime slot at the BTS Summit too. Thanks, Sanjeev, for that. I'm happy to lead it. I get a lot of visibility for doing the right work, but actually this should be something that all of us should be putting our time and resources to. This is over and above. About India as a great nation progressing, and someone said, how can a nation progress when half the talent is sitting at home doing something that they can do, but that they have potential to do a lot more? And that's women out there. 48% of India is women. In Karnataka, I don't have the numbers, apologies for that. But the numbers cannot be very different, right? Within plus minus 3 to 4% of variance. But however, the work representation is extremely limited. It's 18 to 20% given on any day what report and statistics are being drawn. And now you look at the numbers, there's a good 28% that goes missing. And I think India has solved the issue of women in education. If you talk to any parents, they definitely want their girl child to get educated. But how many of them have actually wanting to get them to work? And that is where this initiative is extremely critical. It's important for women to have work identity. There is Professor Vasanthi at IIM Bangalore. She's doing great work in this space for the last 8 to 10 years. And in my recent conversation with her, we were like, how is it that women have such great representation in science, technology, engineering, mathematics? US needs to run a mission on STEM. India doesn't. India is extremely brilliant at getting women educated. But however, the number drops. They go hiding somewhere. And it's our job to pull them out. It's our job to support them. It's our job to enable them. And someone said it rightly, they don't need that much support. Just get out of their way. And they will do just fine. So I think some of us just need to get out of their way. And let them fly, let them drive. We've allowed an autonomous car on the road. How complicated can it be to just let a woman be? Equal opportunity is the space, and that's what we are trying to do at the top. Provide opportunities for women to skill. If they've left the work, well, let's get them skilled and come back. If they're in educational institutions, let's give them employable skills. And then, of course, give them an opportunity to employ themselves. And that's it. And for all the girls, students sitting here, I see huge numbers. If someone said you're greatly educated and that's going to get you a good boy in marriage, well, that's fine. Marriage is important. I will get killed if I say that's not important. I totally love my husband, and I'm sure a lot of us who are married here do that. And that's fine. Nobody's saying drop that. It's not either or. The game-changing equation is and. You can do both. You may not peak at the same times. Your career may look different. You may have certain breaks. But the important is not when you step out. Important is when you step back in. And therefore have a longer-term view of your career, your identity, and what you want with world. And that's what with Women at Work we want to establish. Creating industry-wide platform. We have many corporate partners who've come on board and are using the platform that KSTC Skill Portal to present their programs and skill. I think that's working very well. Special thanks to VMware for being the first coming on board and using. We had excellent webinar with you. Thank you so much for that. IBM is a great partner and many others. And of course, we are also looking at providing economic independence. It's not work. It's what that work gives you at the end of the day. Economic independence. What does economic independence gives you? Power of choice. Now, if then you choose not to work, entirely up to you. But let that be an informed decision than a decision which is in abeyance or in ignorance. That's all we are trying to change the equation. Here are a few slides for you. This is a better version and a better infogram of what the previous slide was. I'll move past. This is how we plan to do it. We have excellent partnership with Karnataka Skill Development Connect. We are using their skill portal. So it's not like we are reinventing, it's a great collaboration. We partner together, we use their platform to host skill development programs. So go look at the portal, register yourself and see what the future can open up the possibilities for you is what I would say. Of course, an equal important aspect of this is while you are going and looking out for a job, you also have opportunity to be an entrepreneur, which means, well, definitely get yourself employed, get your idea, see it to fruition, be the next unicorn in India or the worldwide, aim high, aiming low, there are so many others doing it, why do you want to be part of that? Aim high, and then you'll have fun. And I think this is what we are doing. We are making sure we are taking this event to the clusters. We've had excellent conclave at Hubli. We are very happy to be here at Mysore. And our next pause is going to be at Mangalore. And that's what we are excited about. And we'll probably then culminate in Bangalore. It's very important to measure everything. Sabha and I were having fabulous discussions. You will hear her shortly. She's got great story to tell. We were talking to Usha. She has a great story to tell. We were just talking about how everything that gets measured. It is important to measure these. So when we are presenting this in an open forum like this, we want you to hold us accountable because we are saying it's not that we are going to not skill, we're going to skill, but the end destination is going to be an employment opportunity. So we'll work with corporate to ask their demand. We will make sure the programs are tailor-fit, custom-fit and platform is provided. Very, very important to say, now go and we get them a job opportunity. What's the point of continuously skilling if there isn't an end goal? And for some, learning and skilling can be the end goal. And we appreciate that. But for those that it is not, and there is another milestone of a job, our Women at Work initiative is focused on doing that and providing jobs. And of course, we are looking at 1 million women and we're looking at 500K to get employment opportunities. So join us in this. This presentation is only to get you thinking. So if you are sitting there, I know Lululemon, lovely, we had great conversation, Naina. Join us, get on board. This is the time to do it now. Everybody's talking about it, but trust me, they've been talking about it since the 70s. Even earlier, when we didn't have a right to vote or we didn't have a stake in the property. Well, this is the time to make sure that our numbers have a different story to tell. And let's bring a strong ecosystem. Very simple slide, concluding slide in the last 30 seconds. What do we plan to do? As a corporate when you're coming on board or as an academia when you're coming on board with us, there is nothing without, no world moves without the letter, right? So we're going to have a memorandum of understanding. We are going to have 4-step framework. Our focus, however, is going to be on the first. The rest, we know the corporate knows how to figure, but it's going to be how to hire. But of course, the framework is not complete till you hire, but you also develop them. You retain them. You make sure they belong. As much as the man belongs at the workplace, they feel they belong. I think that's going to be important. We'll facilitate KSTC platform registration so that you can use the platform, see what's there, and we obviously run best practice study. Ambassador, you become the ambassador of Women at Work rather than me holding mic. I promise you this will be my last. We would want you to hold the mic next time and tell the story of how you led a great journey, because this journey is about you. We are only backing people. We are going to direct the show, Sanjeev, and then you and I will move on, and the story will be of what you have done and how you have transformed the world, because you're all sitting in positions of power. Ours is an enabling role, and we only know enabling can only influence so much, but control-centric roles cannot lead the execution. So we are going to hand the baton over to you, and once we do that, there will be excellent awards and recognition, and hopefully some great awards to be won. Well, with that, enjoy Women at Work Conclave, and thank you so much for listening.
Check. Alright, mic delay agbodu, but nim chappale delay agbardu. Dayaviಟ್ಟು ಅದು mind ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Come on everybody, let's hear it for Supriya Danda ma'am for aptly putting us forward ಏನು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸಹ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸೂಚನೆ. What we have as ladies and gentlemen, since you are at this biggest women empowerment idea with wow out here, we want you to take selfies, we want you to take wherever possible photos, we want you to upload it on your Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Make your presence known, because social media is all about presence, and you are at one session that's going to transform your life into a different perspective. And also we have a Highness here, so it's going to be a great insight as to what she has to say about all of this as well. I'll be introducing all the panelists in a few minutes from now. But quickly, I want you to use the hashtags of KDEM. I want you to use the hashtag of the big tech show that's seen right there and clean. And more importantly, we want each of you walking out here after this session to make a difference. The start of the difference starts by listening to the session and asking the wildest of the question, because when you ask is when you seek. When you seek is when you get some knowledge, and then that can be implemented to a fruitful life. So without wasting much of your time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to put forward into the next lovely session that's about to start, the Talk In, the Women at Work talk show, which is right about to start. To do so, it's time to call upon stage Her Highness Srimati Trishika Kumari Vadiyar, the Maharani of Mysore. May I request Shri Sanjay Gupta sir to kindly accompany Her Highness onto stage, throwing an insight about Srimati Trishika Kumari Vadiyar. She hails from the Dungarpur royal family and is married to Shri KYC Vadiyar, the scion of Mysore royal family. She has completed her bachelor's in business management and her master's in financial economics and is a keen advocate of supporting children's education in India. She is presently doing her research on primary education accessible to tribal children in Karnataka and is the brand ambassador to Kalisu Foundation. Her Highness is a lover of tennis, horse riding and wildlife. She's also a big animal lover and has supported various foundations for the same cause. Her Majesty, Her Highness, can we please welcome Namma Mysorin Avradanta, Namma Rajkumari Adanta Shri Trishika Kumari Vadiyar ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಸಹ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. And also on this lovely session, ladies and gentlemen, we have the former director of SATCOM program, ISRO headquarters, and a distinguished scientist. Please put your hands together for TK Anuradha ma'am, who will also be joining in as the speaker for the session. She has been a recipient of the Space Gold Medal Award in 2003 by the Astronautical Society of India, Suman Sharma Award in 2011 by the NDRF, Space System Management Award in 2016, an honorary doctorate by Akka Mahadevi University, Women's Achiever in Aerospace. She has received the Inspiring Icon Award, Jewel of Karnataka Award, Hemme Kannadiga Award, Rajiv Gandhi Mahila Shakti Award, and Varshada Kannadiga Award. She's the first women project director from ISRO Satellite Center. ಒಂದು ಜೋರಾದ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ. So she's also been building a communication satellite GSAT for the first time to be launched on the PSLV, inclusion of the electric propulsion system for the first time in SARC's ESAT, where we well recognized. And she's also the lead satellite-based communication program for policy, polling, and implementations. So, moderating this power-packed, energetic session with two eminent women personalities is our CEO of the Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, Shri Sanjay Gupta sir, who's moderating the session. ಒಂದು ಜೋರಾದ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. So listen to this power-packed, informative session. This session can transform your life, ranging from today. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕೊನೆ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಜೋರಾದ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. And before we do that, we have a surprise for all of you, and we would like to request Her Highness Srimati Trishika Kumari Vadiyar ma'am, the Maharani of Mysore, to please inaugurate with a launch video of the WOW initiative. Can we kindly request you to do the honors, please? ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯಕ್ಕೆ she'll be inaugurating it with us. The WOW initiative video, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹನೆ ಒಂದು ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಬರಲಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. Thank you.
Hello, I am Rohini Srivatsa, National Technology Officer at Microsoft India.
Hi, I'm Iqbal Kaur, an entrepreneur and AI leader with more than 25 years of experience.
Hi, my name is Saraswati Ramachandra and I lead the B2B analytics, which is the corporate analytics for one of the biggest banks across the world.
ಹಾಯ್ ನಾನು ಅಶ್ವಿನಿ ರಾಯ್ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಸ್ವಂತ ಉದ್ಯಮವನ್ನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 8 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
Hi, this is Supriya Dhanda. I lead the Women at Work initiative for Karnataka Digital Economy Mission KDM.
I think my love for science was kindled by my teacher in my 4th grade. He was so instrumental in building curiosity inside, helping us investigate the world around us and seek our own answers. My dad is an engineer, a quintessential tinkerer with all things gadgets. So I think science, technology and engineering were a natural choice.
I was fortunate enough that I was brought up by parents who didn't think I was any less because I was a girl, and that reflected in my behavior at workspace. And even though AI was very male dominated 20 years ago, it changed my behavior, and as a result everybody treated me as their equal. I also got a lot of exposure to great women leaders through G Women Network, who taught me how to claim my seat at the table.
I am a woman at work, and how I can go about it, because I get humongous support from my family, which comprises of not only my parents but my in-laws as well as an understanding husband.
I am a proud citizen of India and I've seen India and Karnataka grow in the technology platform. And to me, technology is a lead indicator of our success of a country. I've seen technology grow, and why not technology, right?
The one thing important, especially in the world of technology, is to be a lifelong learner. If you can do that, you will thrive.
We have a lot of challenge. It's not an entry barrier, right? We see 50% of women in the colleges. We have 50% in entering the industry, but we have a roadmap barrier, and I think together we need to solve for it.
I really appreciate the initiative taken by KDM and KSDC, bringing women at work, and also personally something very close to my heart is you're also going beyond Bangalore.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಮೂಲೆ ಮೂಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸವಲತ್ತು ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಬೌಂಡ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ಐ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಅಪ್ರಿಷಿಯೇಟ್ ದಟ್ the women in tier 1 and tier 2 cities and in the district and the rural villages of Karnataka will also get benefited out of this.
I have observed women take multiple paths, and I have myself taken multiple paths. So I'm very deeply supportive of women who are coming back to work, have taken paths off work and are trying different things.
How do we get women at work? How do we get numbers which are 50-50? My personal observation, and one that has been discussed with many other leaders over the years, has been that the CEO and his executive team need to prioritize this. Whatever gets prioritized at that level usually gets done. So this is our call out from Women at Work initiative to all the leaders out there. Please prioritize this. Please discuss this in your executive teams and make sure that as much as society is a place where we see women in balance, we must also see organizations come, contact us at Women at Work initiative and find your way to work. Women at Work, choose your work and make it work.
Amazing. Choose your work and make it work. We would like to cordially thank the Maharani of Mysore, Her Highness Srimati Trishika Kumarivadiya ma'am, for inaugurating this lovely session. But now it's time to our wonderful moderator, Sanjeev sir. Let the session begin. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅತಿ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಷನ್ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Let's go with the talk show and the Women at Work.
Thank you so much. I am honored today sitting with the two great women leaders here. Such a pleasure and honor. I feel that I am very small in terms of their aura, but let me take this, digest myself that I'm sitting here and also having a conversation with both of you, ma'am. This session is meant for unlocking some of the secrets of your journey, so that we can then share with the larger audience and see that if the larger audience can inspire and see themselves sometimes sitting on this dais going forward, isn't it, guys? Yes. And the male part who is sitting here, the leaders which are there from industry all across, look at the women participation and look at the women leaders. We need to do a little bit more job. We unbundle that part of the conversation as well today. I'll just take, first of all, thank you so much, HH. HH stands for Her Highness, and HH also stands for His Highness, but let me just say Her Highness here today, and Trishna ji. We know each other for a long number of time now, but something which I've been always excited to know about is that from your royal family background, you've been coming from various parts of the royal family clusters together. How your journey have been towards just a student as a girl student now to be the Maharani of Mysore? What is the journey where there and what challenges and some type of some good examples that you can showcase that any family will have a similar type of things going forward but can relate to you?
First of all, Sanjeev, thank you for inviting me for this wonderful conclave. It's, of course, very commendable as to what KDM is doing. Well, to answer your question, I've had a very normal upbringing like any of us sitting here. Even to this day, we're very normal people doing normal things. But of course, being married into such an illustrious family and to have such a vast history of over 400 years, the history that we share with the people of Mysore, it's definitely a huge responsibility. And it's not like a challenge, but that is something that both my husband and I are working very hard towards. And hopefully we carry it till the very end of our lives. Thank you.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. And let me just make it a little bit more interactive towards Madam you as well. Ma'am, you have become an icon in terms of saying women leaders can, especially in the area of STEM, right? But I also know, she has 4 sisters. All of them are doing great and done great in her career. Coming from a family with your sisters along, and your interest in the space technology, when it got created, how you landed up in ISRO, little bit insights from that side.
Ending up at ISRO was a later decision, but before I answer, I would like to thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be with Her Highness and to be at this wonderful city, Mysore, which is always close to my heart. Mysore always brings in the childhood memories where we used to spend summer holidays with grandparents here. Well, coming back to your question. Asking questions about everything. And that is the way, we were brought up with all the mythologies. It was not just about devotion or towards the God. Even when we heard the story of Prahlad, they would ask us, what is the moral of the story? Even if it is your father, unless you analyze and decide, you cannot accept things. Prahlad did not just listen to his father because he knew he was right. So, parents can mold you to some extent and you have to choose your own way. These were the kind of young minds we were put into such thoughts that we have to be independent, thinking freely what is right and what is wrong, take our experiences together. We used to have a lot of debates at home and there were no curtailment on us. You're girls, you should not do this, you should do this. Never. We grew up very freely and we thought world was also like that. We, absolutely, we were so, we never thought that there is something we should not do and things like that. We had absolute independence, and we were shown by parents how we should be humble, it is our strength. At the same time, you cannot be meek, that is weak. That was a mantra we were taught with. We were very brave girls, all of us. And we chose our own fields. And me personally, I always liked logic, analysis, more than trying to remember things, numbers, etc. I was not much interested. So naturally, my love for science and mathematics was always there. And I was always inspired by all the science magazines. Though my father is not from science background, he would get from the college science magazines, and I did all my studies in Kannada until high school. So I could not be reading those magazines. He would read out. Not that he understood everything, but it was fun listening and exploring. There are so many things. And by the time I came to high school, it was very clear I'm going to continue with my science. And when I was in pre-university, I had my more love towards electronics, and I chose to be an engineer. And when I was doing engineering, we had to visit many industries. And it was, it was something like love at first sight. When I visited ISRO Satellite Center in Pina Sheds in Bangalore, those days, I just fell in love with that. The way everybody was energetic and the passion with which they were telling us, students, what they have done, I always felt this is a place I want to come and work. So my dreams came true. Though when I joined, ISRO was not on the highs. We had a lot of debacles, and we had our SLV failures initially. And people did take ISRO very seriously those days. But, I just had an inner feeling that this is the place which suits me. And it was really like an extension of college days when I joined ISRO, because it was learning and learning and learning all the time till the day I retired. Okay, so it was always, every task was something new, and we had to be learning and going ahead. And lot of work. We would work beyond office hours, and 24/7 offices working. And it was such a magical atmosphere to be in. And the more you put in, the organization gave back much more to me, I suppose. And all I did was love my job, do my job, nothing else, but organization gave
Wow,
much more.
wow. I'm saying wow, but actually this is wow, not that wow. This is real wow from the heart coming up and says, madam, such a great thing to say. What I learned is this conversation for a second is love, fall in love for your job, fall in love for an organization, right? And then things just goes, शाहरुख खान की मूवी का भी डायलॉग है ना, वो कयानात आपके साथ वो हेल्प करने लगती है जब आपको कुछ मांगना होता है. So something of that happened. Like, look at, madam wanted to be in the ISRO, she wanted to be there, everything fall in line, she became the first woman director of ISRO. Thank you, ma'am. And I just come to you. Royal family has been doing a great work in Mysore for the last 400, 500 years, etc. And many women leaders from the royal family has come forward. I would request if you can throw light on some of the women leaders from royal family has been coming out and doing certain initiatives and has changed the community, the society, the economic development part of it. It will be great to know, because I think some of these secrets are written in some history books. We don't know that. Maybe some examples from your side.
Well, I wouldn't be wrong to say that if it wasn't for, of course, the Maharanis of Mysore before, the legacy of at least the royal family would not have existed the way it does today. So to back up what I'm saying is, the first person that I can recollect is Rani Lakshmani Avaru. She, of course, had a very tough time with Tipu Sultan imprisoning, or you could say putting her and the family under house arrest. So she played a massive role in restoring the kingdom back to her grandson, Krishnaraj Wadya III. And apart from that, of course, she played a very pivotal role to end the endemic of smallpox in Mysore. She had a daughter-in-law along with the Mysore princesses take the vaccination. And in those days, that I'm talking about the early 1800s, so you can only imagine the apprehension people had back then for the vaccination. And of course, a lot of them thought that this was the Britishers trying to do something wrong by, rolling out the vaccine. So she proved to the public that there's nothing wrong, we all can take it, and she played a very important role in ending the endemic at that point. Of course, apart from her, various Maharanis like Lingajamani as well as Devajamani, they're instrumental in setting up various lakes and dams. And Lingam Budikere, I'm sure most of us here have enjoyed our times there. And then the regent of Mysore, Vani Vilasa Nidhana, who's played such an important role. Her husband passed away at a very young age, and she took it upon herself to carry out all the duties as the regent of Mysore. And she, again, played a very important role in setting up institutes like the Indian Institute of Science, which today, of course, we know the contributions are so immense. And of course, she even set up the Shivana Samudra hydroelectric power in our state, and we were the first to receive electricity in the whole of Asia. I mean, so that's the level of contributions of the Maharanis of Mysore in the past.
Lovely. Wish I would have been a part of that journey somewhere in my period, but it's a great time right now with you, because I know there are certain initiatives which I've revealed right now later on that you're doing. I think there's a royal family towards women leaders coming out, doing something on the part of social impact and as well as on the part of economic impact. And economic impact has reached to stages where now institutions like Indian Institute of Sciences are becoming the world premier institutions just because royal family and the women leaders thought this is the need of an hour. I think that's the one. Why I'm asking the question is, it's not that the childhood, when they look at these women leaders, they get inspired, and so she got inspired by the great Maharanis. I deliberately asked this question for you, ladies and gentlemen here, especially the girls here, to get inspired what she is going to do right now. Because this way, you will become one day the Maharanis of the economic empire that you will be able to go forward for. Okay, the next question, which Mana, I come back to you, is STEM is an area where normally we have seen the women do not enter so easily, right? A medical field is totally fine, or education, or a teaching, or a professor is a career that the woman normally chooses for. How do you think that, one, is the shift is happening around from the career choices of the women that you observe in your career for ISRO, that many women started coming in place, etc.? Or how the more women can participate into a STEM? What is that some enabler, some recommendation that you can give that more of these women can look at a career in a STEM field? It could be manufacturing, could be designing, could be ISRO, space technologies, aerospace, defense, anyway.
Probably I would like to slightly differ from one aspect. What you said may be true in globally numbers, but if you see in the Indian context, especially in the metropolitan cities, etc., you take any STEM course, you see almost 50% girls. I know when we studied in engineering, out of 65 students, we were 10 girls, 2 dropped out, we were finally 8. But when my daughter studied, it wasn't so, almost 50%. And not only engineering stream, as you told, medical and life sciences, which have been traditionally taken by girls. There is, I think there is a lot of shift today that girls are going for STEM. Mainly, there is a lure of better jobs and getting better placements. That is always there. And girls don't go away from STEM because STEM is, I don't think STEM is an entity. STEM is part and parcel of our life, right? So whether you're cooking, there is science, right? Whether you're doing agriculture, there is science. Whether you want to run a beauty parlor, there is science, chemistry in that. Whatever you do, it is there. But the relevance of the question comes with regard to the clear-cut numbers, like why is already it was told that at the entrance level also enough number of women are there. I see a lot of young women in ISRO today or anywhere else, but when it comes to taking the higher positions, you don't see many of them. That I agree. But girls are going away from STEM. It's not for India. I don't think so. It is very much there. There are different causes which we all know, and why they are not going for the higher rank and all that. So what I would say is, it's lowest strata economically. If you see women who are participating for the income of the household, totally. Whether they are farmers or your maids, you see everywhere they are contributing. And when it comes, participation in the economy is not a choice. It is mandatory. When it is made as a choice, unfortunately, that you have an option that you can relax, somebody will take care of you. That kind of mindset, when it is put into young women when they are growing up, is a problem. It's a social problem, not girls not liking STEM. I don't think so. Okay, so subjects are of great interest, and I'm sure somebody may like arts, somebody may like commerce, fine. And similarly, there are many girls who like science, technology, and they're pursuing. But your question, we may relate to why they are not pursuing career, right?
No, I agree. There are various social causes, but I think two important points that you came out is, one, the science is everywhere. I will just add a word more onto this because the future is digital. So digital is going to be everywhere now, along with the science, right? Yes, the science is the core. On top of it becomes the digital. And if you see any economic space, so to say, be any sector of the domain, agriculture or health tech or anywhere else, is pure coming out in innovations in the field of digital. And the women at large can contribute more towards this side as well once their interest in the science is there, going to the digital side of is adding to the layers of new techs and high tech is coming off of AI, ML, cloud, and etc. And also in the manufacturing side and design sides, right? We are already, Karnataka is the highest in terms of world number 2 in terms of chip design house. You must be aware, madam, that Mysore has opened its first offshore chip design center. And AMD has the one organization was given, Proxylara is the company who has set up their operations here. So the women can come forward. Another hub which is there is a cyber security hub, and this is the reason I want to shift this question to madam here, is ma'am, you as, and let me forget about the royal part of it, as a woman leader, you are entering into the field of tech, entering in the field of entrepreneurship. What inspires you this, right? And why you are, putting so much of effort and energy into the high tech and entrepreneurship, foundation that you set up on cybersecurity? Explain this and what is the motto behind it?
Well, from the very beginning, we've always wanted to bring about economic drivers to Mysore, to bring about entrepreneurship, to promote entrepreneurship and innovation in Mysore through the first foundation that both my husband and I collectively set up, which was the Berunda Foundation. And through that, it led us to the aim or the goal to make Mysore the cybersecurity hub of India. And of course, there are various reasons to it. One, of course, our city has the utmost admiration to our culture and heritage, and we are the closest to the IT center that's in Bengaluru, but also just to bring about economic drivers in Mysore. And this was a project that we thought was what must come up. Now, when my husband and the board of directors mentioned that they want me to head this, I was really taken aback because I don't have any background in technology. Although my interest always lied in AI, and I, love experimenting. But this is something that really took me aback. But that there's something that they saw in me and something they believed in me, and so I took it up. And every day that I've been leading the team is definitely a challenge because I have to learn twice as much as the respected board of directors, respected team members that I have. And but this is, as mentioned by most of us and all the key speakers, we learn every day, and this is a continuous process. And never in my early days I ever thought I'll be entering the tech space, but I'm doing this, and we're doing this for Mysore, and we're very excited about it.
And your entrepreneurship, what are you doing, madam?
All right, so that is from my little experience as a mother. I started the Little Bunting. That's a company where we are trying to have an e-commerce platform that only promotes indigenous products. Right now you see a lot of mass imports of products that are not of the best quality. There are a lot of plastics that are imported. And why do we look for places elsewhere when we have such great talent? Our handicrafts are so remarkable. So I started this project. My inspiration, apart from being a mother, was the Chenpatna project that I started. I personally went there looking for toys for my son. And I've heard so many people mention to me that the quality of these toys have fallen, or they have the misinterpretation that the Chenpatna toys is what you get on the Mysore-Bangalore road, which is incorrect. So I went down, I did a little research, I met the toy makers, I actually saw their skills, their color. It was remarkable. I was blown. They were making things that you don't even get abroad. So I was trying to understand what they're missing. And so that was my research. That's why I'm there. I'm doing things with them. And so we are now at the research and development stage in Chenpatna, where we're trying to use their skill and meet modern aesthetics of today's toys and revive the toy story of Chenpatna.
Excellent, excellent. Look at the thing which is doing. Cyberverse Foundation is trying to put up Mysore on a world map of cybersecurity. And I know I have a dear friend here sitting in the crowd from IBM who is also putting a lot of effort on cybersecurity. Amit, we will definitely look forward for your support to see how Mysore can become a cybersecurity hub. And I know your promise is there with me. Thank you. Cybersecurity, then what she's doing is, let me take a history background. Mysore as a state was supporting the world when the World War was happening around, sending their own army from here to liberate the other countries of the world. Mysore, okay? Now there is no frontiers that the army needs to defend. The frontiers of digital needs to be defended by something else. Look at the future thinking from the royal family, which is saying, let me defend the digital boundaries, which is not physical, through the cybersecurity center of excellence set up in Mysore under their leadership. And she's a chairperson of the foundation as well. Thank you so much. Entrepreneurship is not so easy for anybody. If you go onto the site of, from here to Bangalore, on the sites of toys, you find these are toys. No, what she said is, she has to go down, understand what is the product line, why it is so great, what the problem statement is. Then she came up with an idea. What I'm trying to say is, every entrepreneur has to travel that journey. So it's not that being a one person at some level, I can get my task easily done. She traveled on those narrow streets to find out that what those artisans and those craftsmen are doing and bring them onto the board of an e-commerce platform. Again, a pioneer work on showing the true women entrepreneurship. Thank you so much, madam, for that. Coming to, ma'am, to you, and this question is for both of you, one similar question. Is there any woman leader in your career so far that you have met or a family background that inspired you?
In my family, probably I was the first who got into technical career and continue. In my days, within our reach, our exposure was not so much like nowadays, all we had was limited newspapers and radio. In our days, the heroes are our teachers, our parents who were there. They were our heroes. And I really salute my mother who, despite her inability to even take 10th exam because she got married very early, she made sure that 4 daughters will never think that somebody has to take care of them. She always made sure. She said, girls have to take care of everyone else. You have to stand on your legs. Yeah? So she is my big hero, to tell you frankly, always. And she managed the house finances, the education for us. My father was always lost in his own literary activities. And what more, I think she was a great inspiration. For us, she made sure that it's not the new dress I wear for the festival that's important. It's how many books we have read that year and how many thoughts we have inculcated in ourselves. These were the kind of things, and we felt so superior, not having many goodies with us, but still, I think many people even thought that we were very proud, we 4 girls, but we were really proud of ourselves, and we knew we were much, much better off than others in many ways, with respect to understanding, knowledge, and life skills, everything. So she is my hero.
Lovely, lovely. All mothers are great. Thank you so much for this. Ma'am, who was your inspiration?
I totally agree with you. In fact, my answer could be a repetition of yours. But to add to that, my mother-in-law is one of my biggest inspirations. She's a remarkably strong person, and apart from handling all the businesses, handling such a big estate, handling the legal matter, she's paved the way for handling all the traditions, the culture, the heritage. She's really, taking that forward and setting a legacy for the generations to come. So my mother-in-law is my biggest inspiration.
Both mothers and the lady last question, and then we open for Q&A a few minutes for the audience as well. Every woman faces somewhere or the other typical types of challenges. One, being in a family with some, let's say, financial constraints, or constraints their parents are not, supporting for girls to a little bit more higher educations, etc. Some families are there in some part of the India. The second one, after the marriage, obviously, do a little bit of adjustment with the family, that you're getting married. Some challenges comes up to pursue your career. The third one is in the workplace itself, right? You are entering into a workplace where are they really giving you opportunity to grow? Are you thinking about it? We have seen in many studies. Have you ever faced these types of challenges? If so, and how did you overcome that?
Challenges are always there in life. There is nobody who doesn't have challenges in life. But to me, my personality is like that. Not like Ayn Rand said in her novel, the protagonists are all strong women in her novels, where one of the protagonists says, it's not who will let me in, it's about who's going to stop me from. Wow. That's my attitude.
Awesome.
So, problems do come, and I take it as the challenges, problems is part and parcel. I never get deterred by them, and I have always moved forward, and I don't know, it's what you make out of life, I suppose. See, I always felt I was very lucky to have an excellent family where I grew up. And I had an excellent family when I got married into. My husband is here. And his parents, we all lived together. And I don't know, everybody was so appreciative of me, and they were always encouraging. They were proud of me. And if I look back, office was proud of me, my office management and office team workers. Family was proud of me. I must have been doing something good. And it's all in one's attitude. Challenges happen to everyone. We cannot, lie down flat because challenges came. We had to keep solving, and that's the way. I mean, problems do come.
Absolutely. Thank you for the statement, ma'am. What do you forward? Because I think there's a lesson which is getting to all of us, right? The challenges will be there in any phase. Be a raw and roar like the lioness and say that I'm there to beat you rather than take up the challenge up front. Okay? Nobody can say, I will defeat the challenge as well. You have given me an energy today, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Again, agreeing with you, I think today's women are unstoppable. But I also feel that, we all say, we are in an egalitarian society. But while one half of the society has moved forward, there's a lot of awareness in the field of education, there's a lot of awareness in the field of gender diversification, there's a part of the society that still has a lot of catching up to do. So I think in order for us to move ahead, I think women should support other women, and especially those from the less privileged society. And the other thing I would like to add, and this I'm a strong advocate too, is start with your sons. I mean, today we all complain about inequality, we all complain about so many factors that women have to face at work. But if we just start with our sons, one day that our son, when he grows up, he will go to the workplace and add to this voice. So those are my two messages.
Absolutely. Thank you. What a lovely chat. I can continue with the chatting onto this, but I have to stop here for a while. It's a great answer. One is our own son. We need to grow up in such a way that they become the voice as well. And the second one is woman has to stand up for the woman. If the woman stand up, I assure you, the all men here will stand up behind the woman as well to do the job. Great. Thank you so much. Quickly, only a couple of questions that I can take. Yes, I know I want to promote the audience from the girls' side. I will come back to you, sir. But if there's any hand from, yes, there is one. There is one there, corner. No, there. I will come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you. Please just tell your name. Even if you speak in Kannada also is fine. Don't hesitate. Just communicate what I want to say.
Good afternoon. So this was a very inspiring speech, both of you, ma'am, and we are very lucky to be here to witness such an event. I would like to proceed to my question now. My name is Samyukta, and I'm a computer science student from GSS College of Engineering. And so my question is, we've discussed how women are entering the STEM fields by 50% or even more, and they're also graduating in excellent numbers with excellent grades. But the problem is, why aren't the same amount of women reaching higher positions? And this narrative is being propagated nowadays by educated people. One example I do have is Jordan Peterson. He's a clinical psychologist, and his explanation for this is he has seen women enter the workforce and break the glass ceiling and everything. But he is saying, and they are propagating the idea that women are not going to be happy even if they are in such high positions, because that would require them choosing their jobs over their family, a more traditional role. So when this kind of propaganda is being promoted, young girls are made to feel like, oh, will I regret this choice if I'm going to give equal or more weightage to my career? So ma'am, I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Very valid concern you have put. Whoever gentleman he told, he's not a woman. So don't believe. First, how does he know how a woman feels, right? So you can talk to people who have been in the lead roles in the organization. Today, you have an opportunity to talk to Her Highness, and to some extent, I have contributed in my capacity. You can talk to us. You will find many more women to whom you can talk to. It is not a truth that we are not happy. And it's not that we chose career over family. kindly don't take them as two conflicting factors in life. Already, she brought out very nicely that it is not either or, it is and. She beautifully told. To tell you frankly, there are lots of us, men and women, who do multiple things in a equal capacity. I know myself, some of ISRO directors, chairmen, both men and women, were fantastic dancers, singers, they were giving performances, and they were carrying out their duties very well. And if you can pursue such things, is it so difficult to take care of the family? Family is yours, your own. It's like, is it difficult to take care of your own hygiene? It is yours. Family is like you, part of you, extension of you. It shouldn't be difficult, and it is not choosing one over the other. You have the capacity to do many things together. Explore yourself. Explore yourself. Keep doing. Take the challenges. And every challenge that comes, I read recently, beautifully quoted by, I forget, that every opportunity comes as a challenge, cloaked as if it is hard work and difficulty. And you have to unclothe it and discover the opportunity you have in that. You have the potential, right? And your own instinct will tell when what has to be done. Because it is your life. You're not doing it for anyone. It is you're doing for yourself.
Correct. Absolutely correct. I just want to, also clarify this part. There are issues which a lot of other feminists around the world has been saying. And if you focus on a career or leave a family, well, it's debatable. Let them take. The only thing which I'm getting conclusion from here is, if you want to be happy, your job and your family, for men and women both, is equally important. So it's just that case. So let's bring that up, a joy of having a family and as well as a job as well. One more question. Yes, I will give a preference to a woman here. Please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pratibha Tiwari, and I'm from Forefront Healthcare Private Limited. And thank you for this opportunity today. And my question is, women at workforce are more like, if you have to get into a decision-making position, we have to be decisive. We have to be, to some extent, dominant. But we definitely don't want to be defined as dominant or feminist or men beater. But at the same time, I want to be heard through. I want to not be invisible and have an inclusive culture. Ma'am, this is an open question for you. So have you faced any of these situations wherein you are not included into a decision-making table, and how did you make it possible for you to, for your thoughts to be heard around and your decision to be taken into consideration?
All kind of situations do arise. If you are put in a place where you have to make decisions, make it. Because it is your duty to do it. It is not to please anyone or to impress anyone. I take my decisions because it is my duty to do decision. I am in that position to do that, and that is my job. I have to do that, right? And after doing the decision, if somebody is listening or not, every office has its own way of handling such things. Never be afraid of taking your decisions. In fact, I keep telling the same thing. There are certain government rules, norms, that every board of directors should have at least 33% of women. And most of the time I used to be alone. Later on, one more lady also me. See, the thing is, and there were interview committees where we had to select candidates. High-level scientists will be put there to select the candidates, and there has to be a woman representative. And being one of the senior most, I used to be there too. And they were surprised that I was taking active role in asking questions, and they thought that my role will be limited to seeing that the lady candidates are not uncomfortable kind of things. No, I took as much equal participation, And from the next recruitment onwards, I became one of the major players. Why I'm telling, I'll tell you. Secondly, in a board, you're put because there is a norm and you have to be there, you have to be represented. One way is you feel shy, intimidated, you don't even open your mouth, okay, and you feel afraid. How can I talk to my seniors? Because they're all seniors, naturally. You are not as much senior as they are. Because I'm a senior lady, they have put me there. But if I keep my mouth shut, I'm not doing justice. Always ask yourself, am I doing justice to the role to which you do, right? If you sit like a cute bonsai there, it doesn't help. You have to thrust your inner energy out and speak out, right? And you should first think you are as equal as anybody else. It is an attitude. It is not just the environment. The problem is the environment has certain baggage, you have certain baggage. We keep on feeding to each other negatively, it will never end. You be the person who break that nexus and show that you can speak. And if you have a voice, and for that, it doesn't just let that happen. You have to prepare yourself, work hard. You must be worthy of contributing, right? Because you lack experience compared to others in cases where you are just put because of the need that some lady has to be. But put effort, run an extra mile, don't burn out, but run an extra mile, show that you can do as you can, right?
Fantastic, fantastic. You want to add something?
I would just like to add, as what was wonderfully put by you, the impact of these tags are only going to be there if you pay heed to it. So my advice is just ignore it all and move ahead.
You took a decision on, you have time to recover it, you have time to make it right as well. But your intentions and integrity and etc. should be correct. Have a seat, ma'am. Thank you so much. I will not be able to take up more than this. Any questions? Before you take it up exercise, and then call up for this part. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to sitting with these two ladies. Okay? Absolutely. And I am thankful that I'm on the side of the KDM that I'm able to host them. God bless everybody who will be part of the KDM and bring a lot of women leaders on the forum as well. Over to you now.
Awesome, fantastic. And as promised to the two ladies who came up with two lovely questions, you are here, you stood up and asked the questions amongst all. So you're here to make a difference. So we have a small gift card from Decathlon and a badge which says, I make a difference. Can I request the volunteers to please hand over? Can the two lovely ladies stand up once, please? Come on, everybody, let's hear it for them for their fantastic question. So it takes courage to be seated in the audience. It takes even more to ask a question without fearing anyone. Thank you so much, lovely ladies. More power to you. So I think it's time to conclude this lovely session. As I could see, what here we have Anuradha ma'am, who just gave us one wonderful insight. You can't be big and weak. So if you want to make an impact, you got to be big, leave the weakness aside, take a decision, own the consequence, believe in yourself, you'll make it. Thank you so much. Can we hear it for Anuradha ma'am, please, for such wonderful insight on the word. And also, we have Her Highness with us who just gave a very sweet message, start it with your sons. And rather we can elaborate it and say, start it with your family, because from family comes the community, from the community, the city, from city to state and India. So that's how a world progresses. So it starts just within your households and with a small thought process. Thank you, Your Highness. But felicitating these two, may I request on stage Mr. Amit Sharma of IBM to please come forward and felicitate our lovely two speakers. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಜೋರಾದ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಒಂದು ಸೆಷನ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿದ್ರು ಹರ್ ಹೈನೆಸ್ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ತ್ರಿಷಿಕಾ ಕುಮಾರಿ ಬಡಿಯಾರ್, ದ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಸೂರು. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಜೋರಾದ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದ ಸಮಯ ನಮಗೆ ನೀಡಕ್ಕೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. And also our lovely Anuradha ma'am, the former director of SATCOM Project ISRO, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Thank you so much for making your time. And
yeah, Amit be here. Ladies and gentlemen, Amit hats the global business of IBM. Doing this gesture itself is such a great. Amit, thank you so much. This shows that the commitment towards the women at work, men is also behind it for this part. Please join us. Supriya, can I ask you to join us stairs for a picture for all of us?
And also we would like to thank Sanjeev sir for coordinating such a wonderful session. Let's hear it please to our moderator as well. A small group picture please. All right, it's also a request to the panelists to please take back for a minute. I would like to call upon the moderator as well as the speakers for the next session also to join in on stage, please. Sabakari ma'am, Madhu ma'am, Usha Shrikant ma'am, Suchitra ma'am, and Ashwini ma'am. We kindly request you all to please come forward for a group picture. The next session that we have, ladies and gentlemen, is a panel discussion, and these are the panelists. So you might be wondering, who are these wonderful ladies? I have interesting bios about them, ladies and gentlemen. But also a fun fact on this lovely day. Did you know that the city of Mysore has its own form of Bharatanatyam, which is exclusive to our city? So the wonderful thing, let's hear it to all the people on stage, please. Thank you so much, everybody on the dais. Thank you so much. And it's a privilege for all of us even to state that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, whoever is with your mobile phones. I know everybody carries one. So let's make the session quiet. So if you have not put your phones to meeting or silent mode, can I kindly request you all to please quickly put your phones to meeting or silent mode, please? Thank you. Right, to giving you a very beautiful insight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the heritage city of Mysuru. And did you know that the raga for the Tagore's national anthem was inspired by a erstwhile Mysore anthem? We cordially thank Her Highness for gracing the occasion. Joraba Chapale Mukadravna Bidugade Madkonona, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. All right, in the meanwhile, we get ready. So everybody had a good session, insightful? Yes, no? Yes? Can we have a round of applause to all the wonderful women seated here, please? Come on, everybody. If you are a woman, a girl, let's hear it, please. Thank you so much. Your presence is a lot inspiring to us, which means to say these many people seated here with us today are wanting to be the change that they want to see. And also to our lovely folks who are joining in live on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay tuned, because the next session is going to be an amazing panel discussion that's going to really open up your minds to altogether a different dimension with amazing speakers, great life stories, one common connect, the Women at Work Conclave at the Big Tech Show Mysore. Stay tuned. So while we get ready with that, I want a little show of hands to all the people who are still feeling a little drowsy. How many of you want to have a wonderful, illustrious career? Can you put up your hand in the audience section? Anybody? That's it? The rest of you don't want to be successful? How many of you want to be successful? Okay, it's open to all. How many of you want to be successful in life? Yes? Thank you. But in order to be successful, one of the key ingredient is to take in challenges in the right way. Majority of the time, if we face a challenge, we tend to go weak in